see how much longer we do it.
Call the meeting, the August 17th, 2020 meeting of the Board of Public Works and Safety into order. Please stand for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Secretary Calder, will you read the roll, please?
Sure. Anita Leary,
Here.
Shane Evans,
Present.
and Dick Bradshaw.
We have a meeting, the minutes of the August 3rd, Board of Works and Public Safety in your packet. Are there any additions or corrections?
No, ma'am, I move to approve the minutes from August 3rd, 2020.
I will second that. Any discussion, all in favor, please
Aye.
signify by aye.
Aye.
Aye. We have claims totaling $476,434.54 and a pesky fly.
Yeah.
Questions regarding the claims?
No, ma'am, it looks like, close to 200,000 claim for the Samuel Millward Road project, another close to 100,000, with transfers out of water operating, for bond
For bond
payments. So actually a decently small sized docket. So I do not have any questions on that.
Do you have anything to add?
No, I really don't.
Is there a motion to approve?
I would move to approve the August 17th, 2020 claim for about $476,434.54.
I will second that. All in favor? Signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay, so motion carries. We have unfinished business, I think, what, 2 minutes ago, perhaps, or somewhere in that range. We received some quotations to do a retaining wall around the playground area at, this is at City Park. So it's similar to the wall that's, by the slide. And we had two estimates. One of those estimates was, from, Prince Lawn Care, for the amount of $9,941.19. The other, bid that we received was not on the letterhead, and was just a handwritten. And we asked that, it be resubmitted, and we do now have a letterhead, estimate from Hardscape Unlimited Construction, for an amount totaling $6,322.10. And looking at the scope that's indicated in both estimates, it looks as if we are comparing apples to apples. Is there a recommendation?
I would move to award the contract to Hardscape Unlimited Construction, for the scope of work identified at City Park, totaling $6,322.10.
I would second that. Do you have any discussion on that?
I know there was some hesitation because of the informal nature of the handwritten quote provided previously by Hardscape Unlimited Construction, and we had some hesitation as well. Superintendent Lyon and I discussed it, but we have confirmed the quality of work that Hardscape Unlimited Construction has done in other areas. Lafayette Masonry does have this company as one of its qualified contractors, so I'm satisfied that the quality of work will meet our expectations.
low bid of $6,322.10 from Hardscape Unlimited Construction. Say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. And there really is no new business, so we'll open for board comments.
I appreciate being at this one meeting. I'm here to make sure that we can get claims paid while Mr. Bradshaw is on vacation, his annual vacation up to Wisconsin. So I have already submitted my letter of resignation from the Board of Public Works and Safety effective at the end of this meeting. But I appreciate being offered the opportunity to come and help make sure the city continues to run.
Appreciate your being here for that purpose, Shane. And we do have your swearing in for, and now your resignation. Probably your shortest term, probably the shortest term on the Board of Works on record. So now, I don't have any board comments. Clerk Treasurer Aldrich, do you have any comments?
Only one. And last week, Debbie, I couldn't get the printer to run today, so I'll get it tomorrow and give you a vendor thing. Not last week, but the last board meeting, you were concerned about the phone bill. down
I
here.
wondered about that, yeah.
But I went back and looked. January, when it was paid, it was actually paid for November to December 15th.
Mm-hmm.
And that was $194.79. February, the amount paid was $263.77. March and April, it was $248.40. May was $269.66. June and July was $247.56, and August was $251.13.
Wasn't that number 900 and something dollars?
No,
Okay.
no, $251.13.
I didn't bring it with me,
But
so.
I didn't know if you were looking at maybe, because her NIPSCO can really fluctuate.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't know if you were looking at a NIPSCO meter reading, thinking that was it?
Well, I'd like to be able to say exactly what I was looking at, but you know,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah,
And I'll
because
check.
I thought,
I'll check, because I was,
I was sure.
I thought it was a large
right, but
number.
then the more I thought about it, the more I questioned myself, so
Mhm.
I ran it.
I appreciate you looking at, because I looked at it and I thought, man, that's a monster number.
Yeah.
So let me go back and see what I was looking at. Yeah, it can happen, you know?
Yeah, then you were looking at the whole thing and looking at General's Party, because the community center's printed on General's Party,
Mm-hmm,
and General's a lot higher.
mm-hmm,
That
mm-hmm.
may have been what you did.
Well, I don't know. I just know that, you know, I kind of keep track of those things, and 9,000 some dollars was, or 900 and some
Yeah.
dollars was a little more than what I was looking for, yeah, was expecting, yeah. So thanks for doing that.
Any public comments?
I have a couple.
I just about moved for adjournment.
I know it, but you know,
We're that close.
I know. Well, maybe it won't take too long. I'm wondering about the digital video solutions and security. Is that a grant and what do they do?
So digital video, I guess Mayor Worthing, if I may answer.
Yes,
since I
please.
wasn't here at the
I'm
time.
kind of thinking, yeah.
So that creating places grants,
Mm-hmm,
it was formulated so there would be some money left over for maintenance. So Digital Video Solutions did come in and corrected some issues that we had with some cameras, I believe, well, in the locations of that the cameras are located, I guess, without divulging too much information. But they came in and did maintenance. They may have had to replace one camera because I know it was roughly $1,200,
1441
Okay.
and 50 cents.
So they may have had to replace one camera that may not have been functional, but that was essentially maintenance on these.
So this is maintenance,
Yes, ma'am.
and then,
A lot of it.
yeah, is that a yearly thing, annual thing, or is there a grant that pays for that, or? I mean, because it says
It's as needed.
creating trail grant.
So, we do check the cameras whenever we have something happening where we need to check them, but about quarterly.
Uh-huh.
We go through and check the cameras to make sure they're functional.
Mhm.
And the reporting.
And make sure it's cooperating with the DVR. Because there's,
Okay, so,
without getting into too much confidential information regarding the
Yeah.
security system.
yeah, so, oh, look, the camera pneumonia. So this wasn't routine maintenance, this was kind of a call from the city to
Yes,
come out and kind of look at this stuff.
correct.
So is there a routine maintenance program?
There's not a contract with that.
It's just,
It's essentially, the city of Delphi checks for issues. If there's not any, we don't call. If we have some, we call.
I see, okay. And then I had one other thing, or maybe two. This $900 claim to the attorney to review and respond to formal complaint with public access counselor. And I assume that was with you,
Yes,
and I wonder why the taxpayers are paying for this.
well, you explain to me how do you expect it to be done?
I expect you to release public information. I mean, I don't know what, you know, I
Have we had
don't,
an adverse opinion from the public access counselor?
pardon me?
Has there been an adverse opinion against the city of Delphi from the public access counselor?
I don't know.
I don't believe there has been.
I don't know. But
There wasn't
it's just,
Saturday, but
I don't understand why the taxpayers are paying for this, because it's not against the city. This is a complaint against you for not, and don't take this
It's a
personally.
complaint against the city.
No, it's a complaint against the elected official for not releasing public
When
information.
it's filed with the public access counselor's office, it's filed against the office within there. If you, within his opinions, it's never complainant versus John Doe. It's against the city or town or board, which a complaint is made.
I just have to make a note,
I
because,
can assure you it's filed against the office because I filed it and it's due to be dealt with this month. That's the latest we've heard from the public access.
well, I didn't know which one. I mean, I don't know how many formal complaints have been filed. So that's,
if you're talking about against me, one.
is it? Okay.
But it's against the office.
Against the office, not against
But this is the office holder.
the office holder, but it's
And
against
so
the
the,
office.
so you think it's okay for the, I'm gonna argue just a little bit, and then I'll shut up. But, you know, the taxpayers should pay for legal fees when they're denied,
Allegedly.
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 But $900 is a lot of money.
Sure is.
And why did this come out of this general fund, general department? Why wouldn't that be out of,
That's where the office is located.
Well, she
No.
does have her own legal, but
But mine is-
it's against the city of Delphi. She holds those records, but she holds records for all the departments. And in the advisory opinions of the public access counselor, it's not uncommon for him to state the attorney for whichever board or governing body the complaint was issued against responded to said complaint.
kind of talking like an attorney right now. What did you just say?
It's not uncommon for the attorney representing whoever the complaint is against to represent that governing body, that city, that town, that school, that whatever department of the state in that complaint. To do the actual response to the public access council.
And has a fee.
Well, it kind of makes you think that you should not ask for public records, and if you don't get them, well, that's just because then you're going to have to pay.
I'm really, I'm gonna get a little ashy here.
Fine.
You keep saying you don't get them. That's alleged.
Well, I haven't gotten records that I've asked for. I haven't sent a formal request, which it's coming this week. But, you know, remember the minutes from the,
Dick Traeger?
yeah?
I couldn't find anything.
If we don't have them, we can't get
And that was
But you
just-
never responded about that. And how could you spend public money? How could you spend city money without any record? This was the facade program. This is the facade program. And I allege that that is a committee. It was a committee, and I think you and Dick Traeger did that. You made decisions of who was going to get money, and it went out.
Preservation Society was operating to make decisions on behalf of the city for the facade improvement grant program.
Was there a memorandum of understanding, a contract, or anything like that?
If it was many, many years back. We've been doing it with several administrations. And, you know, the paperwork, as far as I know, would have been submitted by Dick, who was heading up that committee at that time. Still if we had a Main Street organization, up and running
Mhm.
at this point, they would have that responsibility on behalf of the city.
But those meetings would be subject to the open door law and they would be public.
No, it's a not-for-profit organization.
No.
Similar to, Delphi Preservation Society. I mean, when the claims come, it would be part of the claim procedure and would be part of the open record in that sense. The Board of Works would approve, I would assume, approve the claims, so, if you want a different procedure for those to come before Board of Works, it's a reimbursement grant, the entity that's the building owner, property owner, or business that is receiving the facade improvement grant has to do all of the work and pay for it before there is a reimbursement. And then, of course, show proof of payment. Am I missing anything in that? What you know of?
I can clarify the alleged complaint. I asked in my public access request for 7 APDs, the purchase orders that went with them, and I got 7 invoices. All 7 of those have gone through the Board of Works and those claims have been approved. So I don't know what documentation you examined when you signed off on your allowance voucher, that you had examined documentation as the Board of Works members. But if the documentation exists, I don't understand why I didn't get it. That would have certainly saved a lot of grief and a lot of money. I asked specifically for 7 APVs and I put the numbers on there. Those numbers have come across your claims vouchers in the past several months and been paid. It was all encumbered money that I requested regarding. And I got a packet from Maryland with 7 invoices in it. That was all that was in the packet.
That is an APV. The invoice is the back side of it. It is the APV that you asked for. That's what it covered.
I asked for the contractor purchase order, I asked for the APV. The APV is the document that says accounts payable voucher on it and is signed by the department head person who signed off on this. All I got were 7 invoices from vendors.
I believe, and without having the specific language, I don't have access to Meg or email anymore. I believe the specific request was for all invoices related to the ATVs, or the following ATVs with the 7 ATV numbers.
That is the one thing that the public access is
And
for.
the complaint was alleged prior to us giving that information. I don't believe in your complaint, you said you didn't get what you asked for, but you said you had not received that information.
I had several conversations with Luke when I got the envelope that had 7 invoices in it. And I asked him what the process would be, and he explained to me my next step was to file a formal complaint. And he directed me to the spot on the website to do that. I know that my complaint is number 88 in the queue, and I was told that it should come up about mid-August, that they would be dealing with it. I don't know if you got anything from Luke, I haven't had anything since.
The formal complaint was sent to the city of Delphi. However, the dates of the formal complaint, Lane and I both reviewed it with the city attorney. I believe the date of the formal complaint that was submitted to Luke Brick was on a Friday, I want to say the 19th. And that the documents were provided to you on Monday, the 22nd.
He told me after I got the invoices, I spoke with him and asked about the additional, I said I did not get everything I asked for. He said, ask for it again, wait so many weeks, and then if you don't get it, then you'll file your formal complaint. That was the process I followed through this whole thing. I was just following his directive. When I filled out the form, it's just a 1-page form, the formal complaint, and it was lodged against Leanne for not providing the documentation I
Against the
requested.
clerk treasurer, please.
I'm sorry.
Against the office of the clerk.
See, I don't have that packet in front of me right now, Gail, but that doesn't make sense to me as I'm trying to listen to you. Because when you say to me, when you just said there had been, Luke told you if they're requested again, And if several weeks go by, continue with your suit. There couldn't have been several weeks go by there, Gail.
There were several weeks because I contacted him a couple different times in 2-week increments. And you had explained to me one time that an APV is supposed to have the purchase order or the contract attached to it. And that was what I
Has the
asked for.
purchase order
My
number
public
on it.
access request listed the APVs, there were 7 on there. I can provide a copy of it for you. I'll send it to you tonight, Anita, if you wanna see it as acting mayor.
As mayor.
Yeah, no longer acting on.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to be offensive, I just.
Nope, that's fine.
You get it out tomorrow.
Yeah, we can, I'll get with.
I can provide you
Perfectly
everything
good,
that I want.
I kept everything, Gail, that's not necessary, I'll get it out tomorrow.
Any other comments?
So moved.
Moved in second, that we adjourn. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you all, thank you for coming.
I hereby resign from the Board of Works and Safety. Feel free to reach out. It will not be a violation of the open door law, so if you accept my resignation.
I do appreciate you coming because you do have background on this, particular, matter as well, and appreciate it.
Yeah, and I'm more than happy to provide additional information at any time. Prefer, don't call me in the Board of Works meeting asking questions, but